for this?
Yes.
Here we go.
Am I talking into the pickets?
Can you use like your best Disney voice in the answer? All right. Who has inspired you over the years when you were creating your own personal guitar tone? So basically, when you were first picked the guitar up, who did you want to be?
Oh man, when I picked up a guitar, I wanted to be Larry Carlton.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought. Well, actually, it was him and Al Di Meola.
Nice.
You know, and both of which I never became, but both those guys. Yeah, when I was 14, those were the guys I was listening to. No rock music.
Really? At all?
Yeah. No rock. A lot of R&B. No country. Lived in Nashville. No country.
No country at all.
It was all those guys. Yeah, they absolutely blew me away.
Steve Cropper?
Nope.
Really?
I had no interest. in any of that stuff. Yeah, I had
I'm
zero.
shocked.
I know. Isn't that bizarre? All that came later in life. Totally missed Jimmy Page first time around. Yeah, just
By Hendrix.
Oh, just wasn't interested.
Discovered afterwards.
Afterwards, yeah. So yeah, I know. It's like terrible. It's like it's heresy, guitar heresy. I know.
You guys might want to edit that out.
It is what it is, man.
Hendrix, Jimmy Page, you know all the.
I missed it the first time. The phrasing, the way Carlton played over changes, to me was harmonically interesting.
Wow.
His vibrato was beautiful. I mean, it is beautiful. You know, he's a great player, but I was more interested in that harmonic value, and there's something about the control. At that point in my life, I wasn't interested in the
flash and
the flash or the rebellion.
Yeah.
I was a happy kid, so there was no need to the whole rock idiom didn't inspire me from a point of identity. So it was something. It took something different to get me involved in that. You know.
So you were a happy kid. So they obviously never did one of those MTV Behind the Music with you.
That
you gotta have a tragic life.
You're too boring. Yeah.
And then something bad happened to him. All right, number 2. What is the main ingredients in your tone? I mean, in terms of effects, chorus, flanger, delay. What if we built your pedal board today, what would be on it?
Well, I mean, you can even tell even by the minimalist approach on this, even on the tremolo. Or the vibrato, it's mostly delay and distortion for me. Those are the main and reverb. Those are the main ingredients. I use maybe because I came from the 80s, that's when I did all my session playing, and I think I used up all the chorus that was actually manufactured up till then. So
they had to make more.
Yeah,
it's still going if you listen closely. You can hear it.
It's so sad. No, I like chorusing effects if it's really minimal, and that's why I'm excited about this other one, because the ability to get involved in tweaking out those horrible useless frequencies in because that's the thing about chorus that was during the 80s in the era of keyboards and the overuse of MIDI and layering. Chorus was the only way that you could compete with that. And so consequently, I used way too much of it, and now I'm sick of it. But I do love I do love modulation, and I usually do it from the delay standpoint. Yeah, nice.
All right, number 3. Have you ever been so inspired by a tone that you've created that you end up really just writing a whole song around it?
I don't write much these days. I hate to say yes, but the answer is yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Tone. It doesn't. I've been getting inspired with the delay pedals. So.
Are you like everybody else in this town that you're always working on your tone? You're just never. It's always something you wish you could find better.
Yeah, and now that I spend 95% of my time producing, it's with immediate necessity. I don't hire out as a guitar player these days as much. I work with a lot of guitar players, so the pressure to be able to facilitate tones very quickly, and certainly when I plug in and play, it has to be there pretty immediately because I don't have the time to sit and just
that was my next question.
Dink with my gear.
Do you like to have an access to many parameters, or would you prefer simple pedals with just a few knobs? What works better for you?
Well, this appeals to me.
Perfect.
This appeals to me, and with a plug for the distortion pedal that's going to soon be coming.
There you go.
Yeah,
you guys heard it. Distortion pedal.
That appeals to me greatly. Yeah.
So what really signed you up? What sparked your interest the most when I mentioned that you could do some tone prints? What was the
curiosity?
Nice.
Just the thought that something I love in the box stuff. I love to have options, but when it comes to pedals, I tend to shy away from there was a delay pedal just recently came out. This sounded really good, but it had so many mini buttons and knobs. You know which one I'm talking about. It's a great pedal, right?
It's one of those that you even look at it funny and something moves and you've lost.
Yes, I mean
you've lost that love and feeling, so to speak.
Yeah, and we're not talking about effects that we're talking about specific effects. So the notion that you close in on the parameter, find what you like, and stamp it into one pedal, it's perfect. And then also the option that as you change and evolve, you can evolve. The pedal can evolve with you.
Exactly.
So that appeals to me. But certainly simplicity it appeals to me cool. In the context of a pedal board. That's for sure.
Okay, the last question I'll ask you. In your opinion, what is the single coolest thing about tone prints? About being able to, to be able to do this? What's the coolest thing? I mean, it's kind of a
it's kind of a
it kind of answers
question.
Itself.
Yeah.
Let's skip that one.
The coolest thing is that it's the coolest thing.
Yeah. The coolest thing is we just did this. And,
yeah.
Now you should say, when do I get my pedals?
Well, I will say, when Chris first told me about it, it sounded on first description, it's always daunting. As a guitar player, we tend to be the last in the food chain from a tech standpoint.
Yes.
That we can't read music. No, so I mean, and this is obviously a generalization, but it's just true. Guitar players spend more time just dinking around,
Noodling.
right? We're noodlers by nature, and I think the cool thing about it is once I saw it. I mean, we're all somewhat computer savvy.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It still looks very simple overall. Once you get an idea for the face print of that, it's great. So that's
a lot of these knobs are really just like overall, like this says chorus preset. It does all the pedals.
Yes.
So certain ones of these will only work for certain. So it's
Yeah.
not really that like, oh my gosh, I'll never be able to do this. It takes
No, I like
rocket
that.
science.
I like this format. It still seems much more conducive to the mentality of a guitar player than it does to say of a keyboard programmer.
Exactly.
And I think that's where pedal companies sometimes kind of get off the mark, or they become too boutique-ish. And I mean, this looks like we could grow with this thing.
And that's what we said. You can never really be bored because we talked before, Chris and I did, about you have a pedal on your pedal board. That's the pedal you've got to have. Everybody in Nashville has that pedal.
Right.
6 months later, there's a shoebox in your closet with that pedal in it.
Oh, how many times has that been? Yeah, all the time.
This changes that whole ball game, because what this does is this allows you to go, okay, well, I'm bored with these sounds. Well, if you're bored with the normal pedal, like you said, you get rid of it.
Right.
With this, you go, well, I'll go online and see what else I can come up with, because it's not stuff that you can go like this and come up with.
Right.
It's a completely
right.
And that to me is like.
Will there be updates on these pedals too, as or software actually from the company themselves as they morph with these things?
I don't know.
Be a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question, and they're going to be able to answer it because they're going to.
Which is going to also mean it's kind of a that's a tough one because certainly the dilemma would be with this company is that you buy these pedals, it's like buying a freaking Frigidaire or something like that. It's like they really can only gear it to sell it once every 15 years.
That's exactly right.
So the lifespan of these things. I withdraw my question.
But if you think that though, not really, because like we said, once everybody has one, you have not just this delay pedal.
Right.
You have your delay pedal.
Right.
You have Joe Perry's delay pedal. You have
everybody's
everybody's delay pedal, and that's huge.